What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 85 of my Total Warhammer 3 Vlad and Isabella Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Vlad landed at the altar of the Crimson Harvest and, well, harvested some ethereal Bellicor blood, giving him the buff and the Bell of the Ball, as well as pretty much, well, maybe not completely sealing up Norska, but Norska's in a pretty bad way at this point. We've got the centermost area, we've got the coastline now, and as soon as we destroy Throg's and Karl Shiptaker's armies, I don't think that the enemy will have too much left. Now, we do have several battles that we did prepare for essentially last episode. We are ready to attack Vilitch the Curseling with Roddy here, which we will do so right after leveling him, and then we have that siege down south with regards to Peter and Wallach going after Karag Dum. I guess both of these will have to... Oh, yeah, okay. This one will be a fight. I guess they'll both be fights. Well, which one do we start off with? This will be a bigger fight, so let's go with the lesser one first, then we'll do the buildings, and we'll move on to the bigger one right after. So, Roddy versus Vilitch. We will start with you, especially since we've been waiting for this one a little bit longer than the other one. So it's only fair. Roddy, you have points to spend, my friend. Let's get your quick blood, and... oh, you're at level 50. Nice. Get your quick blood, Bloodlust. Definitely Curse of the Revenant, putting you nearly... oh, actually above 12k. Very nice amount of HP. As well as Blade Shield to further increase the effective HP, and then Red Fury. You do have 2 points remaining that you could use as you please. You do use Spirit Leech quite a bit. Wait, your base trait is Dark Majesty? Oh, damn. We could take the extra aura. We could probably ignore Dark Pact. I mean, yeah, the leadership is fine. I actually wanted to get Master Strike, but we don't have enough points to get everything we want, unfortunately. We'll have to skip something. And I actually did want to get him 1 point in Mentor. We could probably skip out on Doom and Darkness, though. Assuming that we skip that, and I don't care for Gaze of Negation, even if I did, we could just use the Necromancers to do it. The second point in Spirit Leech, is it worth it? The cooldown reduction, if nothing else, is quite nice. But it's not like it's super critical here, especially in the sense that this is not a Necrarch, so he's not going to do as much damage with the Spirit Leech as Rudy would. So we could skip it in favor of getting, for example, Mentor 1 point and Master Strike, or just put 2 points in Master Strike, or go for the Aura of Dark Majesty just to keep buffing that. And you know, I'm not sure yet. Let's keep those points, hold on to them for now, and then we'll deal with them later. The Necromancers can all have Mentor though. Get your Gaze of Nagash and you are good now. Alright, lovely. And get you Specialist Assault units. You will not need to be stealing tech, but you can boost some income if you ever run into a situation where you get any use out of it. And we should get you a Book of Arcan next time I remember to do so. Alrighty, you have Replenish Hit Points, good. Invocation of the Heck needs another point. Evasion, good. Wind of Death, Magical Reserves, Arcane Conduit, please. Definitely get that Grave Ward and Curse of Years. And another 3 points, I guess we're going to put them in Van Hells. Because I don't particularly like the Gaze of Nagash, though I suppose against the Giants and the Trolls could have been, in theory, somewhat useful here. Anyway, here we go. Let's hope that Vilitch is actually willing to fight rather than run away. And no, he is not willing to. Oh, don't tell me. You're going to walk up to Blood Keep. Are you close enough to draw out the garrison? You are not. Just a little bit too far. Well, that means once you die, you won't be able to retreat, Vilitch. It'll mean you'll die. So I'm not entirely sure that that was the right choice, buddy. What do we have here? Gleaming Pennant, a Lichbone Pennant, and a Rampager Standard. Oh, right, I was going to give this... oh, and somebody did remind me to do this, too. This was going to one of the Blood Knights. Alright, I'll do that later. If I don't forget this time. What are we facing off against here? There's a decent amount of Chaos Knights, a decent amount of Trolls, Giants. Of course, Vilitch himself is just impossible to bring down, but otherwise I think we have a decent chance. Just gotta watch out for all that spell work killing all of our poor ghouls. Alrighty, well, here we go. Once again, we're facing off against Vilitch, and I think that we have this pretty much in the bag. I mean, certainly he has some elite units in the army, a decent amount of Chaos Knights, those Aspiring Champion, Regiment of Renown units. Of course, Vilitch himself is insanely tanky, but, well, let's just say good luck getting through that 12.5 thousand HP on Roddy. In fact, Roddy is going to be functioning by himself a little bit more in this particular battle. Usually we send him around with the two Terrorgeists, mostly because the latter can all protect each other, as well as Roddy protecting them and healing them, but this time I think they're going to go after other units. In the first case, that will be the single Manticore out here, so the Vargeists and the two Terrorgeists should be able to bring that down, while Roddy goes directly for Vilitch. In terms of stats, I'd like to see this. Let's see what we got here. 67.55 and versus 77.81. So Roddy is looking pretty darn good stats-wise, and he's got a lot more HP. And that said, Vilitch's stats are deceptive. He's much stronger than he seems, and by virtue of a number of his abilities, he's capable of regenerating his shield. He's got some pretty nasty casts, and the Treason of Tzeentch should be pretty good on him as well. So yeah. Plus, of course, he's protected by a fairly large coterie of units. Here we got Forsaken, we got Chaos Warriors and Trolls all attacking Roddy, plus it looks like the Giant wants a piece as well. Will Roddy's HP stand up to this much punishment, rather? I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. He's certainly killing a few Chaos Warriors while getting a few shots in on Vilitch, while the Giant tries to knock him off that Terrorgeist, but I just don't see that happening. We also do have a Trickster Shard available to us, which we will be popping off on Vilitch occasionally, and the Spirit Leech as well. Now, Roddy here is starting to take a little bit of damage here. He's lost maybe a quarter of his HP, but that's without any of the heals so far. Plus, the rest of our army is moving in while Roddy is distracting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units, and an 8th counting their lord, so that's a very nice trade-off. And over on this side, we have zombies being summoned by both of our necromancers. They're distracting the enemy Chaos Knights on both sides of the battlefield, and allowing our ghouls to move in without getting charged directly by the knights, which works quite well. And I know I say this every time, but damn, the Chaos Knights are huge. They are gigantic, especially compared to the zombies. There we go, that's a nice shot though, with the mass amount of zombies right before the Chaos Knights like that. But more zombies, as we can see, are coming up through the Raised Dead, and these guys are slowly starting to get surrounded, all while getting attacked by other units and standing in the area of effect of that Mortis engine. As we can see, there's Marauders getting ripped apart by ghouls and by Crypt Horrors. And I imagine that these Tzeentchian spawn are going to fall fairly quickly as well. Same thing going off over on this side, as the battlefield seems to have split into essentially 2 parts. Well, 3 parts if we count Roddy's over there. More zombies being summoned by the second Necromancer that's leading this part. It looks like one of the Chaos Knights units is about dead. And we did separate our 2 units of Mourn Ghouls as well as a unit of Crypt Ghouls to the side to use their stock and hopefully hit these Knights in the back, which seems like it's working out. We're going to get a pink fire of Tzeentch moving through us, but unfortunately for the enemy, it does hit only zombies, and thus not really achieve anything. Or doesn't really achieve anything, rather. And it looks like the Mourn Ghouls are starting to bring down the Knights that they're hitting in the back, especially in combination with those Crypt Horrors. I imagine that they will be able to bring a few of ours down with those Aspiring Champions, the Severed Claw in there, because it's a pretty great unit, but this is not looking so great for the enemy. Let's see what else we've got going on. We have Roddy nearly at half HP, though one of the Terrorgeists is a little bit beat up. And let's see, the Giants drop to a quarter and Vilitch is at near half. I think that's pretty good, especially as I do believe Roddy can heal himself in various ways, and can still do that whenever he damn well pleases. The balance of power is also very much in our favor now, at about 75%, and I do imagine it'll continue to grow in our favor. Our Vargeists did get a little bit hurt though. Let's see, they lost 5 of their models and are down to 16. We will be giving them some heals. But Vargeists are always kind of vulnerable to stuff, so yeah, you just gotta be careful with them. Alrighty, now it looks like most of the zombies that were the vanguard here essentially have been taken out by the knights or otherwise have crumbled away and due to their time having come. But the ghouls have managed to overrun the Chaos Knights, who are now trying to escape. Otherwise, it looks like the center portion of the battlefield has fallen, and so has this flank, and the entire battlefield is looking to be ours. Vilitch is down to a third of his HP, Roddy's down to half, but is probably starting to heal up, popping that potion of healing. Still hasn't activated his ability heal either. And there we go. Now that the enemy is no longer threatening us over on the main battle site, as in outside of Vilitch's little area, we're getting all the rest of our units in here as well. Vilitch is in the middle of the press together with Roddy, who's still trying to bring him down together with his pet giant. But now we also have the Necromancers and the Mortis Engines giving further heals to our units. Alrighty, and I do believe, judging by the way that the enemy AI is now moving, that the battle is ours. Vilitch has 400 HP and will probably take another hit or two to bring down, if we can actually spot his death in there. And we do not actually have to chase him down. I guess we do have to heal a few units, but since they ran away rather than face us immediately in battle, they will be dead for good shortly. And there we go, looks like Vilitch has fallen. And, well, actually he just runs away through a portal and escapes, how dare he? And that's just rude. I'm actually surprised that they went with that for some lords, but not others. Like, you can see a bunch of legendary lords just straight up die, lose their head, and then come back a few turns later, which, I mean, it makes sense for vamps, but, I don't know, it wouldn't make sense for, like, Grimgore or something. Yeah, but Vilitch just straight up escapes, so at least it makes sense that he comes back, though it is fitting as to him being a Tzeentch Lord and everything. Anyway, there we go. Looks like Roddy's nearly back up to full HP, and as we can see, he hasn't actually reached his healing cap yet either. Damn, that's a massive amount of HP. I really would love for him to have fought, Kugath, and just to compare the two. It would have been fun. And I also now wonder whether we can get his HP up any further. Is there any other defeat traits that we can acquire? I wonder what the max HP you can get on a single lord is. It's probably not one of the Strigoi vampire lords, but I'm sure that they're pretty high up there. I'm just comparing regular non-legendary lords anyway. Now I don't know why we're chasing. There we go. I didn't need to chase the rest of them. A decisive victory. Vilitch is out, and their fortress is ready for a nice sacking. If we can reach it. We might not be able to. Let's find out. Well, there we go. Pretty good example of the strength of that massive HP pool on Roderick, I'd like to think. All of those units just wailing on him and him coming through it and just fine. We are, well, I guess we can heal to full to get that one Vargeist back and a little bit of extra HP on the Terrorgeist. On the other hand, we're barely hurt. On the other hand, we're going to suffer attrition here because we probably can't reach the enemy territory now. But then again, this feels like it's not worth healing. You know, I'll take the money, screw it. And we definitely can't reach Bloodwind Keep, can we, now? So one turn of attrition will hurt more than this battle, and we got the defeated Vilitch trait, which is Winds of Magic Power Reserve, and, ooh, melee defense +5. Wait, so you didn't have this. Did you have this, Renki? I just want to double check that we don't need, yeah, you do have this, okay. That's pretty good. Certainly seems like it's worth combining a few of those types of traits. That plus Saurus Smiter plus the Nakai defeat traits, so much melee defense potentially coming out of those traits. Very nice. Anyway, you can stay here. Too bad you can't go into raiding stance, and channeling would be pointless, but I guess you can go into it. I still don't understand what this means. Enables replenishment in foreign territory. I assume this means it's if the foreign territory is vampirically corrupted. A little bit of a vague stance description at the very least, but oh well. Now, Renki, I do have a question for you. Do we actually need you to attack the Red Fortress? I was gonna send you down to Dragon's Crossing and then grab it and allow our Cathan friends to take it, or even just give it to them directly, and then start heading on back. Or we could have Renki go through this and start dealing with the Blessed Dread for them. There's that possibility as well. If we go into March stance, would we suffer attrition everywhere here? Yeah, we would. I guess we can reach this in one turn anyway. Alright, let's do that. I think that we can siege Bloodwind Keep with just Roderick by himself without too much trouble anyway. Alrighty, that's good for you guys. Now, let's see what else we have to do this turn. Looks like we've moved most of everybody around. The boosters obviously don't need to move, so it's building, and then it's another fight with Peter down near Karag Dum. Alrighty, so, money making. Alrighty, Fortress of Eyes. Well, if we're going to be trading this stuff away, it doesn't really matter. I'm not really interested in bothering to build these places up, just by virtue of the insane cost. These guys will be happy with it, I'm sure. I feel like the AI is better off just taking these. We have a large enough empire. Mostly. As long as they're willing to become our vassals. We'll trade it all off once they're vassalized. And the same thing, I guess, goes for these locations, but we'll trade those off later. Anyway, Mountains of Morn, Vale of Titans, we might keep, but we might also trade. But for now, and build the Gibbet there for the extra control. Trollheim Mountains, Tower of Cracks, same goes to you. Massive Orcal, yes, definitely got the Gibbet here. We could use, yeah, I guess build the ossuary, because it's gonna take a while to grow here. In fact, it's probably gonna take longer than the campaign will last. Cause, like, well, I don't know, 50 turns or so? Cause it's only growing at 85 per turn. And there is no way to increase the growth here further. Well, this might be a good place to build some, a Font of Nightmares. Not right now, of course, because we have better stuff to spend it on, but eventually. Let's see, Salzenmund, we can continue to get the growth there. Barrier Idols, Death Gorge. You know, just so that it doesn't appear again, let's build the growth there. Alrighty, Misty Hills, Wrecker's Point, gotta get that wall up and running or else it'll get retaken, and we just took it too. Fort Ostrosk and Fort Stragov, I'm still not sure whether we'll be keeping you, so and we'll leave that alone. Skavenblight, not worth upgrading at the current time. Soon we'll have lots more money coming in once we can get rid of a few of our temporary armies. Granite Massif. Just build a wall. Alright, Western Badlands, Ekron, you're fine right now. Ancient Giant Lands, Titan's Notch. Still too expensive. Or really, I'd just like some more gibbets and stuff. Ooh, Grompeak as well. Grompeak's actually been waiting for an upgrade since basically the beginning of the campaign, and I still don't care enough to do it. Kislev actually does want an upgrade though, because we want the Boca Palace, if nothing else. The Lord Recruit rank is okay, and income is okay, so yeah, we'll do that eventually, but right now it doesn't need anything. Crater of the Walking Dead, Lamia. You know what, let's get at least the levels 2 of the walls, just in case. I don't see anybody attacking here, but I'd rather not risk it, and we'll obviously be building these things everywhere as well, if we ever get to that point. Migdol and Galbarak and Karakharn, nah, you're fine. Eagle Aries, yeah, fine, we'll upgrade you. 8 Peaks, no. Erengrad, you're near to tier 5. Ooh, we'll have to save up enough money to be able to upgrade the Erengrad port. That'll be a nice upgrade, but everything else here can be ignored. At least for now. Yes, Wolfenburg, definitely get that gold mine up and running, and there's a Gibbet, finally. Finally found some places that are worth spending that cash on. Peak Pass. We should also probably save a decent amount of money for when we want to vassalize the Cathans, if we can make it happen, because we do want to vassalize them both at the same time, effectively. Alright, let's upgrade these, let's put it down to 10k, and then we'll go next turn afterwards. Okay, now that'll take all of our money. We can upgrade you, Zarek Zil, though, and I think the rest... Ah, yes, Gibbet. And another Gibbet here. Alright, okay. I almost gave up for a second there. And we wouldn't have had those gibbets, and here's another gibbet to be built at Mount Gunbad. And I think that should now be it. Just taking a quick look through, but well, I guess we could start upgrading these, but at 48, ugh, so expensive. Ooh, Bitter Bay, yes. We will upgrade you, though. And we have the wall up and running. You actually might get attacked, so we do want the wall there, and I guess I lied about the money. Alright, build that gibbet, and now we're good. I mean, we're not good, but we're good. Let us now attack with Peter, if I can find Karag Dum. There it is. Do you need your points spent? You have Cattle Herder. I'll get you some of this stuff. Try to move you to Uncanny Prescience, but not super necessary. Wind of Death could be useful for your army in particular, but your Necromancer can do it. And we could just continue building you out to be a fighter. Alright, let me just see here. Do we have enough points to be able to possibly get you Mentor, though? I actually would like for you to have Mentor. But then again, I would like every lord to have at least one pointed Mentor, but yeah, the problem is the points, especially on the Vampire Lords. They take so many extra points because they're all casters, and they have these unique lines. I think you've already spent too many extra points. Sylvanian Marksman and Benevolent Overlord and Cattle Herder. Let's not risk it for now. Let's go your Quick Blood, let's get your Bloodlust, and let's get you Earthing. Regardless of whether we get any more points in a bunch of other stuff, we will probably not want to be miscasting it. Though then again, the Winds of Magic Power Reserve could also be quite helpful. You know what? Hold on to the rest of those points. You can get Mentor, finally. Gotta spread that XP around. And then I guess 1 point in Specialist, 2 points in Boost Income, and that looks good to me, so it's time to attack. Alrighty, and what are we working with here? They have both Tomb Swarm and Legionary Barrage available to them. We, however, have a Rocket Artillery Barrage available to us, so I think that should be superior, though they do have the Screaming Skull Catapults. What's a range comparison? Our Grand Cannons technically outrange them. Should be a pretty fun fight, I would say. Let's get to it.
Excellent.
Alrighty, I hope it'll be an excellent fight, that's for sure. Now, first of all, this just feels so weird right now. It's a Tomb King army in a dwarven settlement. It just feels a little bit odd, doesn't it? I don't know. Maybe just you don't see this combination too often, except, well, I guess except where we are, but, yeah. It's something odd to see these skeleton units, and these Tomb King skeleton units in particular, on dwarven walls, but they won't be up there for long as the Fire Rain rockets send in their volleys. And Peter is heading over the wall as well, though he is going to stop to summon a few zombies. We're also going to be focusing these towers to bring them down quick as we can, and just hear these grand cannons fire. And there we go. Oh, one fired and then it went down. Still, you gotta love that sound. Anyway, with the 2 towers down, maybe we will switch to the others, but we are going to start moving a few units to break down that gate. In addition, Peter, while relatively uncontested here, is gonna go after this one little Tomb Prince, whose stats at 3355 are definitely not going to stand up to this. And is he going back up on the wall? No, Peter just wanted to lift off and come back. We're also getting some zombies up and running onto the wall so that if we wanted to, we can summon more zombies onto the field here inside the settlement. And indeed, we do want to. Some Tomb Guard were coming in to help that Tomb Prince, and while Peter wasn't having that, so the zombies will block their way while these two continue their duel. Although it's less of a duel and more of an execution, as Peter is relatively unharmed and the Tomb Prince is basically dead. And mind you, that's with some support coming in from enemy ranged units as well. Alrighty, beautiful. The Tomb Prince goes down and we're lifting off. Let's see, Peter, you have taken about a quarter damage, but you are being fired on by 2 units of Ushabti with Great Bow, as well as 2 units of Skeleton Archers, so it's not surprising that at least some damage was taken. More zombies being summoned to continue distracting the enemy here, and a gaze of, I want to say Gaze of Nagash, no, that was a, I forget the name of the spell now. Something of Kish? Shem's Burning Gaze. No, I was thinking Luminarch of Hish. Yeah, Shem's Burning Gaze coming in from that Hyro Titan. We probably could have sent Peter to kill the Hyro Titan, but he has other targets. Both of the enemy Screaming Skull catapults are standing right in the center here, and I think it'll be better to drop down on them and summon some zombies at the same time, and then kill them to make sure that they don't go after our Graveguard. Though it looks like Peter will continue taking range damage basically from every direction. Definitely gotta watch out for those Ushabti killing him, as they can do quite a lot. And I really like that red shield now, even if it seems like it doesn't quite match his black armor, especially on the dragon, and when everything is bloody, it does look quite nice. Plus when he's casting the red glow in addition to all that. Alrighty, well, it looks like we've summoned sufficient amounts of zombies here. Those catapults will be firing no more fairly shortly, and here come the Vargeists. We have 5 units of Vargeists in this army after all, because they're super cheap due to the von Carstein reductions. We're going to drop them down on some chariots, as well as those ranged Ushabti. Got really sick of them firing on Peter, so they had to be destroyed. And there we go, and 2 sets of Vargeists per unit of Ushabti with Great Bow should be just fine, though we do have to be careful as there is a unit of Necropolis Knights moving down this little thoroughfare or whatever to try to kill them, which is quite dangerous. Especially as the Vargeists are fairly fragile. So here comes Peter to bail these units out, as well as another unit of Vargeists dropping down. Looks like those chariots are done for, though there is still a unit of Screaming Skull catapults alive in the press there. In the meantime, we have moved towards the gate here, and the gate is going to pop open immediately, and we are also going to start bringing down the walls with our artillery shortly, as soon as they move up a little bit. Otherwise, we have Waller's reinforcements to come in, so a second Mortis engine, as well as a Vargulf, a Terrorgeist, and a Black Coach, all of which will help here, though the Terrorgeist will be moving in to help with the rest of the Air Force here. And there it is. Looks like we managed to kill those Necropolis Knights, the enemy ranged units being swarmed by zombies and Vargeists as well. And the Ushabti with Great Bow have been pretty much destroyed now. And very nice. Very nice job to the Air Force. They have certainly got their way so far, but we still have to go back and destroy that Screaming Skull catapult. So once again, Peter goes back in. This must be really annoying for these guys. But that's what they get for not having too many answers to the Air Force. Or, I mean, I guess they did with the Ushabti with Great Bow, but they're gone now. Ah, I love that pouncing animation. Good job to Peter. With the zombies distracting the enemy, he should be able to destroy these Tomb Guard, or at least very heavily damage them, and then go after those catapults afterwards as well. And the Vargeists are still engaged. 2 of them, the ones that are hurt the most, have disengaged and are attacking the tower now, whereas the others are continuing to fight another regular unit of Ushabti, as well as some Tomb Guard here, though I imagine that we'll be needing to help them or otherwise heal them shortly. Our reinforcements continue to move into the enemy settlement past the gate. Our Sternsmen leading the Graveguard here, together with now 2 Mortis engines, as well as that unit of Crypt Cores to add the poison to all this. From Waller's reinforcement, plus our Necromancer to keep everything nice and healed. Everybody here is at pretty much full HP with the exception of the zombies. I also wonder why, but the enemy decided to move its Hyro Titan away, which seems like an odd thing to do, considering it should be pretty useful at holding a gate. And though even then it probably wouldn't be able to hold for long, as we have started to open up those holes in the wall and stream into the city. The reinforcing Blood Knights from Waller's army coming in, and we also have our gunners, our hand gunners, who have moved in as well, who are going to start focusing down that Hyro Titan. Balance of power has definitely shifted in our favor. It's certainly not looking like a valiant defeat anymore, at about 70% in our favor. I'm gonna summon some zombies on top of these sepulchral stalkers as well to prevent them from firing, but also start taking a few pot shots at them with our single unit of handgunners. I do wish that we could increase the number of handgunners somehow. It seems kind of silly that we only have access to one, especially with the size of our empire. I still really think that, well, either there shouldn't be a limit to Sylvanian handgunners and crossbowmen anymore, and they really need to be added to the main line, like red line buffs for the faction, or they should be limited or tied in limit to the amount of empire provinces that you take. Especially if the devs don't want to go the route of giving the ability to raise zombie handgunners, which would also be perfectly viable. Alrighty, well anyway, looks like those sepulchral stalkers now being swarmed and the handgunners have switched to this unit, or to the Gyro Titan, who's also looking to be in bad shape. Critical binding, completely surrounded, and getting attacked by 2 units of Blood Knights at the same time as shot up. Oh damn, sorry about the jumping around with the camera in this particular episode. These damn walls are not well positioned, or at least the units are fighting so close to the walls that it keeps going up and down, and not in a good way. Which is a crying shame. Anyway, looks like the Gyro Titan will be done for shortly at half HP, but now crumbling away. The anti-large of all of these Blood Knights, plus the armor-piercing handguns, are certainly damaging them, though a few handgunners appear to have fallen to fire from the enemy towers. And I do want to see the death animation of the Gyro Titan. And down you go, fella. Drop those scales and fall into the wall and become a part of it. The rest of the army can now stream on down further into the city. And let's check back what's going on with Peter here. Looks like our Terrorgeist actually got a little bit damaged fighting one of those units of Tomb Guard here with Halberd, so anti-large, but an Invocation of Nehek should heal that right up, especially in combination with its regenerative ability. Peter is here fighting the Tomb Guard as well as some Skeleton Archers, but once these guys are overwhelmed, our aerial units should be able to come in and help. A few of the other more hurt Vargheists have been moved away, and we sent them to Waller, who is going to overcast an Invocation of Nehek to bring some units back and to make sure their HP comes up. And we're moving our faster moving units forward to lead the charge down here. They'll lead the charge quite literally as the Blood Knights charge into some Nehekar warriors. And some chariots as well. This turned out to be a pretty nice battle. I'm glad I was excited for it, because it did turn out well. And Waller's reinforcements certainly did help, and they got to play as well. I mean, considering we're probably going to be deleting Waller's army, it's nice that they got to do some stuff. But maybe we could transfer the Blood Knights to somebody else. I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyway, there we go. It looks like those chariots and those skeleton archers are done for. There's a few enemy units left on the field here, but at about 90% in our favor, I don't imagine the battle is going to last too much longer. In fact, since we're not engaged anymore, we're just going to speed it up a little bit. Ah, there we go. Mortis Engine has found some Nehekar warriors, who are also immediately in critical binding. Wow, they really didn't want to fight that Mortis Engine. I guess they realized they had no chance against it. And Peter's gonna help it out together with his Terrorgeist pet. Not that the Mortis Engine needs it. Very nice. Simultaneous attacks knocking so many units back. Some great shots in this episode, I gotta say. No, I love this game. And there we go, down go the Nehekar warriors, and I see there's a unit of skeleton chariots who are crumbling away, and it looks like the rest of the army has decided to crumble as well. Or rather than fight, there were few enough enemies left, and let's face it, they didn't stand much of a chance. We never got to, unfortunately, use our 2 units of Black Knights with lances here, which are part of Peter's army, but well, I was originally going to send them around to capture some stuff in the interior of the city, but it turned out not to be super necessary. I suppose they could have tried to move through this way and charge those Ushabti with Great Bow in the back as well, together with the together with the Vargeist, but once again, it didn't end up making too much of a difference, and there we go. I suppose this is one of those situations, though, where the artillery weren't actually the stars of the show, and they usually are with Peter's army, so props to the Vargeist. This was all Air Force, or at least it wasn't all Air Force, but a lot of it was Air Force, and the gunners did great, too. Alrighty, there we go. Relatively minimal losses. Of course, our Vargeists took damage, and we had no time to sort of bring them back up, because obviously the enemy army melted away at the end, but at the end of the day, it really wasn't all that bad. And any damage to any of Waller's stuff is inconsequential, not that there was a lot of damage there either. Alrighty, we are going to keep Karag, I guess, so there's no need to sack it. And I think we're gonna keep it. I mean, who would we trade it to other than these guys? And frankly, I'm not sure I'd want to trade it to them. Really, it's the Lost Plateau. If we can get Jurgen to grab that for us before these guys, that would be swell. Actually, I'm not entirely sure who would get here quicker. Waller, 1, 2, 3 turns, and then you would take... they would take about the same time to get here. Now, actually, now that that's done, is Waller still needed here? And I'm not sure that he is. If we're not fighting the lizards, it may not be necessary. That said, Waller does have a Terrorgeist, and Maldwin's going to be our air army. And I'm just now thinking that maybe we want Waller to raise some stuff. Was there the ability to raise any Terrorgeists here? I think there was around Khemri, or possibly down here somewhere. The thing is, 32, okay, yeah, there's probably the ability to raise around Kasabar. But it's kind of far. Kasabar is kind of far. Okay, you know what we could do? We could raise the air stuff here in your army. Like so, take these two out. And we'll simply transfer them via Jurgen instead. Not a lot of Vargeists, I will admit, but, you know, better than nothing. And Terrorgeists are gonna be crazy expensive, but, well, we will get a lot of that money back via Waller. Now, we're not gonna delete Waller immediately, and the reason I don't want to do that right now is, A, he could probably be useful in moving to Resetra, but B, his existence is keeping our faction stronger, which we may need in order to vassalize the Cathans, as per the plan, TM. We'll get Shangwu next turn, and I think that's it for this turn, isn't it? Alrighty, we are in ambush. And it may happen. We don't have enough time, unfortunately, to fight another battle, but we do have time to... Well, you know what, I guess I'm gonna call this episode here, because obviously, if I hit the end turn, one of these guys will probably attack Dirk, and then we'll have to fight that, but we'll carry that on to next time. So that will be the goal for next episode, or at least that'll be the goal for the start of next episode, as we will probably try to take out Throg and Karl. As soon as they're out, Norska's really gonna be in trouble. We might also get a battle against with Jervis attacking Norden here, which may be a problem because Otto's army is frankly pretty meh. We'll see though. We don't have the corpse pile here. Oh, this would be a field battle as well, wouldn't it? Oh, that would be even more problematic. Okay, well, in a field battle without corpse carts, I am very concerned here. Really could have used some corpse carts. I probably should have gotten a necromancer here just for the defense. But oh well, if this army dies, it dies. It doesn't really matter because this army was just temporarily summoned to take Dietershof and to defend these territories. So if it fails, it's inconsequential because these guys can take care of everything. So anyway, Norska fight next time, possibly another fight with the Chaos Forces, as Roddy does need to take Bloodwind Keep, and as we continue marching towards the destruction of Vilitch, and then maybe, or at least hopefully, the vassalization of the Cathians. So stay tuned for all that, don't forget to leave a like and comment, all glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.